So at a spring, what I like to do is test for a couple of things so I can know about the quality of the water and the properties of the water and what I'm actually getting. So one of the things I like to do is test for the mineral content. So what I use is just a standard, it's called a TDS meter, a total dissolved solid meter. And this will give me a very accurate, very quick measurement of the mineral content, the mineral count, parts per million of the water. And understand some of the stuff that I talked about earlier in the earlier footage was understanding about how our body works. Okay, and one of the important understandings is your entire nervous system is it all uses a water pathway to transport your neurotransmitters throughout the entire perimeter of your body. Okay, so water is the pathway for your entire nervous system to transmit the neurotransmitters throughout the entire perimeter of your body. And essentially what I'm saying by this is your nervous system is how you experience the world. It's how you interact with your environment. Okay? And water is the transportation system of your neurotransmitters and how you essentially translate and pick all that information up. So what begins to happen by bringing in this high quality water is your awareness, your ability to interact intelligently with your environment, your internal and external environment. It's very powerful. So one of the things we're going to use again is a TDS meter, simple TDS meter. You can pick these up online. I'm just going to go and stick it in the water here. Okay, so we got a readout of 110 parts per million, as you can see. So 110 parts per million is a very, very good everyday drinking water. Okay, anything over about 200, you're going to get into more of the mineral waters, where those are more healing waters. Those are waters that are essentially flooding the body with great minerals. One of the other great springs that we like to go to is more of a healing water. It has a higher, more hard water mineral count. But this is a great indication that this is a good everyday drinking water. It's not heavy on minerals. And another thing that I can do with the same TDS meter, it also has a thermometer. So there's two of the other things I like to test for. So first, I test for the TDS, total dissolved solids. I also test the temperature of the water, and this water is, it is cold, exploding up out of the ground. It doesn't matter what the temperature might be around. It'll be 100 degrees out here. This water will be ice cold. I test the temperature, and I also test the pH. So I'm going to test the temp real quick for you. Okay, so we got 13.8 degrees Celsius. All right, this is a brisk water. It's amazing. Right now, I'm even chilly. It's amazing. So this water, again, it's cool, clean, amazing water. Last thing I'm going to test for is the pH, and you can just use some simple pH strips to do this test, and that'll tell you the mineral content. Because remember, I broke down what is this acid alkaline thing. It's the mineral content of the water. Okay, so then you'll know if it's more of an alkaline water or more of an acidic water, which is more hydrating, because it'll be either more of a sulfur spring, or higher in other acidic minerals, phosphorus, and in particular hydrogen. Okay, so I'm just going to pull a piece off here. Okay. This usually comes with a little gauge, a little monitor here you can see. And this water is about 6.6 as far as the pH. So this water is, and if it was more of a sulfur spring, which many of the springs in Missouri have a nice amount of sulfur, and sulfur is an amazing mineral. It's a beauty mineral. And many of the different supplements that become popular now, things like MSM, methylsulfonomethane, for rebuilding your skin, your hair, your nails, and just the outer appearance of being more beautiful, are having beautifying minerals. Okay, things like sulfur, silicon, iron, manganese, things of that nature. But sulfur in particular is a beauty mineral. And a lot of the springs in Missouri are sulfur springs. Okay, so again, these acid minerals are good if you're getting them from the right source. Okay, being blasted with acidic minerals in like soda, you know, like a Coke, like phosphorus, like phosphoric acid, like you drink that, it burns going down, it burns. That's not sexy. Okay, sulfur from a spring water, coming from the incubation of these aquifers under the ground, it's beyond words. Okay, so understand, this water, we've been drinking this water for quite a while now, and it doesn't have that sulfur, because sulfur is very strong taste and smell. This doesn't have that, and you can see the power of it also, just exploding out of the ground here. So let me take a little bit of a look around here, and you see the nature and the beauty surrounding the area. So what we're going to do now, we're going to sign off, and I want to thank you for tuning in and taking action to get your family and yourself the best water in the world. And this is not about not drinking all the other stuff and not using reverse osmosis and all those type of things. It's just being aware of the higher choices and striving to continue to do what's best and what you know to be the most noble things. Okay, so what we're going to do, we're going to grab our jugs, we're going to bottle this water up and take it home, keep it safe, and also, of course, we store our bottles, we store our water in glass. Okay, that's another one little thing, one little nugget to share with you. We're moving away from the plastics. Plastics are fossil fuels. They have a compound, it's called xenoestrogens. Xenoestrogens are their exterior estrogens, and when you get they immediately integrate themselves into your body's fat tissue. So that gives you that hard to get rid of fat. Plastics don't biodegrade, they photodegrade, so light breaks them down. So those water bottles we're getting from Fiji that sit on the store shelves under fluorescent lights all that time, that water is breaking down. The water is a solvent, okay? The water is a solvent, so it absorbs whatever it's around. And those xenoestrogens begin to break down into that water, so it's like a plastic tea. And you drink that, it integrates itself into your tissue matrix. And that becomes that hard to get rid of fat that people just, and also the syndrome X is becoming very prevalent in our society. We don't know why we can't get rid of the weight. We don't know why we don't have energy. It's these simple things that people they're not aware of. We're not paying attention to. And xenoestrogens are a big problem. So we want to move away from the plastics, okay, as much as possible, and start to get our water in glass, and even better, start to get our water right from a spring source ourselves, or with somebody you know. Or the second option from there, which would be the only other step down I would take, is drinking well water. You know, from somebody, getting it ourselves or from somebody we know. And just ask around. Just ask around. There are people that you know that have connections to wells and have connections to incredible springs. So I want to thank you for tuning in, and we're going to continue to give you the best information to give you and your family the most incredible health ever. Peace and blessings.